This is a News Channel Nebraska special report.
Well, good evening, Nebraska, and welcome to our nightly variety show here on News Channel Nebraska. It's called Quarantine Tonight. I am your host, Mike Flood, and this is a very special evening for you, for us, for our program. We're very fortunate to welcome back Matthew Mayer. This gentleman's from Omaha. He's been on the show before. We've got so many good cards and thank yous for having him on, and you're about to see why. And there's another reason he's back, not just his talent, but this piano and I and us and you at home on your couch, we've been together since the start of this program, and it's actually allowed us to get some amazing talent that you wouldn't otherwise hear. And I'd be the first to admit that I wasn't a music connoisseur before this started, but I have come to appreciate it so much more because of the kind of people that we've attracted with this piano from a Northeast Nebraska high school called Lutheran High Northeast. This piano was donated by a guy by the name of Clayton Andrews, and he donated it to the high school, which is located in Norfolk, so that its students may enjoy and practice and become talented and share their talents with the world behind the black and white keys of this machine. And I cannot tell you how many artists have said, I'll come back anytime and play if I can play on that piano. And so tonight is the last night with this thing because it's going back to the high school tomorrow. The Lutheran High Northeast students and their choir and their band programs and everything, they're going to be using it this school year. And we just can't say enough thank yous to that high school, their principal, their school board, their students, their families, and of course, the guy who donated it all, Clayton Andrews. So what a gift this has been, and with our thanks, we are going to prove it up tonight by performance by Matthew Mayer. Matthew is a small-town South Dakota guy that ended up going to college at the University of South Dakota, where he met Norfolk Public Schools athletic director Ben Reese. They happen to have something in common, the basketball team. Well, Ben actually told me several months ago, you've got to give this guy a call. He's amazing. We had him at the high school, and he did a wonderful job. We invited him on the show, and were we right? Here's what we need to do to prepare for tonight. Get yourself your favorite cocktail, whether it's alcoholic or non-alcoholic. Sit it right by your chair. Get everybody in the room to sit down, turn the lights down a little bit, light a candle, and just relax. This is going to be the best 2 hours on any channel you have available to you tonight. There will be no other network broadcasting something so peaceful as us. So you are in for a treat. Let's start tonight like we always do with our evening prayer.
Hi, my name is Dan Martin. I am the senior pastor at Christ Community Church here in Beatrice. Let's pray. Father God, we come before you and thank you that we can call out to you anytime and you hear us from any place and all at once. You're an amazing God that you can hear all prayers and you know exactly where each of us are at. So today, wherever each of us are, I know that you'll meet us and you love us. You have a plan for our lives. The main plan is for us to find Jesus as our Savior. We thank you that he came, lived a perfect life and died for us so that we can find new life in him. And I know after you've saved us, you not just saved us to heaven, but you've saved us to have a great life now. You give us many gifts, many talents, and we thank you for those. So whether it's in speaking, singing, playing instruments, doing different hobbies, God, we want to stop and say thank you for those, that you give us all those good things. May we use those things to bring glory to you and encouragement to others and to show others that we love you and love others more than ourselves. Thank you for being the God that you are. We pray this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Thank you, Pastor Martin, and we hope all is well in Beatrice. Matthew Mayer is here. Matthew, I don't know. This almost has to be my last show. I'm going to have to ride out on this piano. I love it so much.
This piano is amazing. You were right on that introduction about the piano. I don't know so much about me, but the piano, thank you so much for supplying such a beautiful instrument. It's gorgeous.
Usually when I buy songs on my phone, and I would say maybe I started adding songs 2 years ago on my iPhone when I figured out how easy it was. And usually I buy some song that I saw in a movie or something like that, or something we played on the radio. But I bought an album from you with I bet I have 10 or 11 songs. And I find myself during the day, I try to walk 1 hour a day. I turn your music on and it is peaceful. You do not know how much good that music does people. You find people that say, hey, I walk in the mornings, I listen to your work. I mean, it's a great buy. I'm not just saying that. I'm saying it because I honestly listen to your stuff more than most. What do people say to you about having your music on their phone and walking to it?
Well, first of all, thank you for that. It never gets old to hear something like that in this venture of writing and composing. And you're exactly right. You really hope that this is more that people take in internally, and it does something like hopefully relaxes, or people might joke and say, well, geez, I always joke, someone's got to listen to my music if they're doing the dishes or something like that, and it's actually an honor to hear that. Or someone might say, well, I fell asleep to your music. I'm like, great, that's good. I'm glad that it relaxed you that much to calm down and sleep. That's what it's all about, is to hopefully connect with you in a deeper way, to aid in those everyday activities that you're doing.
You've probably prevented a lot of divorces.
Well, I don't have.
I'm not speaking from
I
personal
don't have the
experience.
count. I don't have the count, but I hope so. I hope that's the case. I can make some other jokes about that as well, but I'll.
Tell me, what was the town in South Dakota you're from? Small town.
So I'm from a small town. It's called Canastota, South Dakota. Okay. I believe the population is about 650 people. 30 miles west of Sioux Falls. Shout out to all of my hometown teachers, friends, back in Canastota. It was just an awesome place to grow up. And, the older you get, you just look back at those times like an innocent small town where you didn't lock your doors and you were riding bikes till the sun went down, and then, you did it all
the piano all night.
And I played the piano probably more than my parents would have wanted me to, but they supported me the whole way too. So.
Well, you can move into my house and play the piano. I'll take that. Hey, the other thing is, you can't get more Nebraska than this guy. Did you know that if you have a baby at the Nebraska Medical Center, they play system-wide, hospital-wide, a lullaby that he wrote and performed? What's it called?
So that song is called Charlie's Lullaby, and it's named after my middle son, Charlie. And yes, huge shout out to you and MC for that tremendous honor. Just hearing that, it kind of gets me all emotional sometimes.
I wonder how many times a day it gets played.
I don't know. Probably there could be other people, maybe saying, okay, maybe we could listen to something else. But at least they don't play the full song every time. At least it's only 15 seconds.
But what happens if you have like triplets?
Well, that's a good question. That might be about a 45-second trip there.
That's the album. They play the album for that.
You get the whole album, right?
Well, I tell you what, here's the way I want to do tonight.
Yep.
I am going to try and give you as much time on screen to play, to perform, to soothe everybody at home. I've already told them, pack the commercials in. Let's do the best job with our very good sponsors, one of which is University of Nebraska Medical Center. We're very happy to have them. But we don't want to interrupt what you do, and we just want to enjoy it. So tell us about what you want to perform tonight.
I want to perform a variety of things for literally every generation. To your point, I want to perform some original pieces, also touch on some children's lullaby pieces, and we'll have a little fun in between with some medleys that take us all the way back from the 1920s up to today, and also hopefully share with you some new pieces of a new album releasing next week. So again, thank you so much
Oh, we're happy to have you here.
allowing me to
I've
do
been
this.
talking about this for 3 weeks. So his name is Matthew Mayer, Mayer. We'll put that on the screen here. You can buy his music anywhere music is sold, and you will enjoy it. But I would encourage you for the next 2 hours, take this in, call your friends, call your mom, make sure they know that we've got something really fun and soothing and relaxing on your television tonight. So Matthew, I'm going to turn it over to you, and you are watching Quarantine Tonight, brought to you by the University of Nebraska Medical Center, right here on NCN.
Thank you so much. I want to start just by thanking everybody for tuning in to Quarantine Tonight, to this amazing program, and a special thanks to Quarantine Tonight and News Channel Nebraska for the support of all these artists across the state, across the region. And for you listening at home, as Mike said, I hope that you do grab your favorite beverage, whatever that is, and then you relax. You're going to hear some stories about the music. And I hope you don't just hear piano songs. I hope, in a way, you just take a moment to quiet down, and hopefully it just sparks something inside you between each story. I want to start with an original piece that I wrote when I lived out in California, because that's the first logical thing you do when you move from Canastota is you move to Hollywood, but that's another long story. In that time in California, I wrote this song called Beyond, and this song was an attempt to capture when you go out of your comfort zone and you do something different and you're exploring something new, that from that, a whole host of feelings may come of that, but the more you challenge yourself, the more you may surprise yourself how far you can go. This is a song called Beyond. hopefully you recognized a couple of those pieces, some of my favorites growing up. And Mike mentioned coming from Canastota, and I want to give a shout out. Part of the reason why I play today is because I had some great mentors and great teachers, and one teacher was Art Cooper. And Art taught me that you can take a simple song, and when you apply your own spirit, if you will, into the song, you can make whatever you want out of that. And that inspired a new album a couple years ago called Art, which is a mixture of children's music like Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, and ones that I attempt to play to get my 5-year-old to sleep, but not quite working. But other parents out there that have those young kids, maybe it'll work for you, but I'm still trying. One of the first songs that I had written back in Canastota was a song called The Unknown, and it's one that I really enjoy playing at any concert that I do, and it's on the first album that I released back in 1999. I released it when I was 9 years old, if you're worried about my age. But this is the first song on that album, and it's called The Unknown. as I mentioned earlier in the show, I'm releasing a new album next Friday, and it's called 16670. And I've gotten a lot of questions on this number and what it all means. And so if you search for it on YouTube, 16670, Matthew Mayer, you'll see a trailer about this story. But the story goes back to when I was a kid. Growing up, I heard the story about this man from Poland. And he grew up, he was a very curious kid. He grew up to achieve a doctorate in philosophy and theology. And he became a leader in his field. And unfortunately, in World War II, he was taken prisoner and he was sent to the Auschwitz concentration camp. And I heard about this man and this story. And ever since I heard about it as a kid, it really, really hit me, and it's never left. And I was so curious about it that in 2015, I got on a plane from Omaha, and I flew to Poland. And I went to this place that this whole story happened. And the story goes like this. One night at the concentration camp, a prisoner had escaped. And so what the prison guards would do if that happened, they would choose 10 other people that would unfortunately have to go and starve to death in a cell. And the morning after that prisoner escaped, they were choosing prisoners that would have to suffer this unspeakable tragedy. And one man was chosen out of this line, and he cried out, he said, "Please, no, don't take me, I have a wife and children." And out of the back of the line was a man that was never picked, but voluntarily stepped forward, and he said, "Please, let me take this man's place." And he was prisoner number 16670. And flying out there, and I visited that cell that he was with these prisoners for 10 days. And he gave these people hope in times of struggle, in times of a fate that he knew that was going to happen, and a fate that he didn't have to accept, but he did out of love for a stranger. And I've never forgotten about that story of an example of how great our world would be if we treated a stranger with love. And with that came the birth of this album. His name was Raymond Colby. And I find a very humbling and hopefully a message of hope that this is a message that other people will learn about the story of this man. Not necessarily all the specifics of who he was, but out of nowhere, he was courageous enough to take an act to reach out to his fellow man. And so it's been a challenge for me to say, as we live in tough times in our world, what are things that we can do for a stranger? What are things that we can do for other people? And so this song was originally born after returning from that trip, spending time in the cell in which he was ultimately passed away. And the man that he saved lived a full life. And he spent the rest of his life talking about the love of a heroic stranger named Raymond Colby. So, Raymond, this one's for you. And this song is titled 16670.
Amazing and powerful music tonight on News Channel Nebraska. Matthew Mayer, Omaha, Nebraska's his current residence from a small town in South Dakota. You got a microphone in your hand?
I got one right here.
Wow.
Yes.
I just reading the comments online, though, one mom said, my 12-year-old is sitting on the couch and he's listening and he's not saying a thing.
Well, that's that.
If you can keep a 12-year-old occupied in the middle of all this other media that's out there, it's just so delightful to hear the sounds from somebody that is, using all of their talents for good, and people at home are just relaxing. Now, that last story that inspired your new album and that release is a pretty powerful thing to even think about. I was able to watch the video that you talked about, and if we have time tonight, we'll certainly play that. It helps illustrate that story, but that's got to be a lot of emotion that goes into playing that song.
Yeah. It took a lot of years to be ready to take on something like that, because you're right, it's not something, it's a serious matter, but it's also the beauty of music to express all sorts of spectrums of amazing stories, and just hopefully it's again ultimately leads to a road of good. So
Matthew Mayer is our guest tonight. We're not going to do too much chit-chatting because we want to hear him play the piano. You should find his music and buy it. It's Matthew Mayer, M-A-Y-E-R. We'll get you all the details on that. I was just thinking as I started this program and listening to his piano, I've been a broadcaster since I was 15. And when you sit in the front seat as a broadcaster, you see everything. Like, you see the troops coming home, you see the troops going out, you see car accidents and tragedies and unspeakable joys and happy moments and moments that towns don't forget. This is the part of the program where I get to share this experience with you, someone that is from Nebraska that shares his talents. And there's nothing more relaxing than listening to some of this music. So we're going to have more of it. Let's check Mike's mailbag and find out what's in the mail. You won't believe this. Somebody actually sent me a great poem today. I don't think it's in the mailbag yet, but you'll enjoy it. This is from Lumir and Connie Jedlicka, or Jedlicka, however you say it, in Schuyler. We do enjoy the programming of music for this stay-at-home time. The local station makes us informed of our ag needs and weather every hour. Also tell Father Joe his Mass is so important for us at this time. Well, thank you, both of you, from Schuyler. Renee from Norfolk writes, thank you for your ingenuity. You have used your ideas to truly entertain the public and keep us informed. I really want to thank you for continuing to broadcast the Mass from St. Isidore. The time of bingo doesn't work for us, but hope you can find a time and place to continue. Well, thank you so much. That bingo game is a hoot. You should watch that Tuesdays and Thursdays, 4 p.m. Central. And this is from Ms. K in Omaha. It feels like a birthday present every time I'm able to tune in and listen to your music. Thank you for bringing the great music and bringing together Nebraskans. Well, thank you, Ms. K. We appreciate that. We've got more Matthew Mayer in a moment. Do you like what you're hearing? Have you not written us yet? Well, it's time to do either one of two things. Send us a letter to this address right below on your screen. It does mean the world, and it does help us pick who our replays are going to be, and we're soon going to be doing some replays. So we'll talk more about that. If you would rather go online, you go to our website at newschannelnebraska.com and click on Quarantine Tonight and take our survey. We like getting your feedback there too. We'll take a quick break, more with Matthew Mayer and the sweet sounds of this beautiful piano that's leaving our building tomorrow. So it's going from our undisclosed location to a very well-deserving high school that owns it, Lutheran High Northeast. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Quarantine Tonight. I'm your host, Mike Flood, and Matthew Mayer is performing tonight live on News Channel Nebraska with us, Lutheran High Northeast Piano, which is leaving our undisclosed location to get ready for the students this school year. Matthew, you're just doing a great job. I was thinking, what if we rolled this piano down the main aisle at the Nebraska legislature and just had you start playing?
I'm in.
They could chill out a little bit. They've been so stressed lately. They've been at each other's throats. You would be responsible for the biggest budget cut in Nebraska history.
That's a great idea.
You could
That's
just
a great
roll them into
idea.
there. Yes, this is a special treat for Quarantine Tonight. And if you're at home, I hope that you are able to relax. Like I said before the show started, shut your lights off, turn a candle on, get in your recliner, and just enjoy this. This is a special moment for Quarantine Tonight. And Matthew said he was going to do a medley here to liven things up.
bet.
And we've got more Quarantine Tonight to go.
All right. Thank you, Mike. As Mike mentioned, we're going to do a little medley here for hopefully this is a collage of many different songs over the years that I've learned that my teacher had taught me, and hopefully covers multiple generations. So if you like ragtime, there's going to be some ragtime pieces in this. If you like some rock and roll, there might be a little bit of that. We don't know what'll be in this. We'll just play. But I want to just say thank you again for tuning in. I hope you're having a relaxing night and a fun night. I'm personally having a ton of fun spending this time with you and being a part of what Mike has created here with Quarantine Tonight. What a special gift. And also a shout out to my friends, Ben and Amy Reese, who have also supported me for so many years and have opened doors for me to do opportunities like this. So this is a little medley. I hope you enjoy. And you don't have to listen to me talk or tell any more jokes for a little bit. So good for all of us. Thank you. I I hope you heard a little something in there that you were either familiar with or hopefully you enjoyed. From a little polka style to a little ragtime. It's always been a fun little medley to play because it takes all the songs that have influenced my style together. So Mike was talking about the 12-year-old watching at home, and hopefully Mr. and Mrs. 12-year-old, if you're still watching, I hope you're enjoying this show, and I thank you for watching this show. So please keep watching. This song is a song called Stars on 1, 2, 3, and it was kind of a childhood. It's on my album, the art album, and it's picturing my 3 kids sleeping, which doesn't happen very often, but when they do. This is the song that came to mind. It's called Stars on 1, 2, 3 for my 3 children, and a song that I attempt to try to play for them to sleep to. So I hope you enjoy that, and I hope you've refilled your beverage as well, and that you're enjoying this and relaxing. Thank you very much. You know, there's never a wrong time for Christmas music. I'm not going to play a lot of Christmas music, but there's a couple songs I wanted to play. I just heard someone say, please do it. I'm going to play a couple piano versions of a couple holiday selections. You know, I feel like this year's been long enough, and when Christmas does get here, or the holidays, or however you celebrate, that we're going to enjoy it. And so I'm going to share with you a couple holiday-inspired pieces. Now, this first one is called Patapan, and Patapan is a Welsh tune. I think it originated 1500s or 1600s. You at home that are Googling this information, you'll be able to share better with it than I. But the right hand represents the flute player and the left hand represents my drummer. The problem is my flute player gets a little off the rocker sometimes. So I hope you enjoy this version of Patapan, followed by a version of Green Sleeves and What Child Is This? So if you're just tuning in, we are at the holiday portion of this program. So, hope you enjoy. Thank you very much. So switching gears back to another type of lullaby song before we get back and revving it up again is Mike had mentioned earlier in the show about a song called Charlie's Lullaby, which is played at the UNMC hospital every time a baby is born. The first 15 seconds is played every time. Thank goodness for the employees, not the whole song. They would probably get tired of it. But I want to say a special thanks, which I know is a sponsor to this program, to the UNMC, for your support. What a joy that is. And also a huge thanks to my friend Kayla Thomas, who's watching. You may have known her on TV as the executive producer of the Omaha Blend Show. But I want to give a huge shout out to her as well for helping make that happen. And this song is for my middle son, Charlie, who just turned 9. And I'm hoping he's off the Nintendo Switch right now if he's watching this. Charlie, take a break from the Nintendo Switch. Jack, you'll get your turn, I promise. Samantha, you're probably running around and trying to corral the whole crew. But this was a song written for my middle son, Charlie. It's called Charlie's Lullaby.
So Charlie is 9 years old. That song is 9 years old.
Just turned 9. Just turned 9. Yes, he did.
Very
So,
cute. So if you have a baby in the
Right.
Nebraska Medicine Center in Omaha, that song plays over the. That's something to be proud of.
Well, I thank Kayla and everyone that made that opportunity happen. But when I think about it, it's just another one of those moments you talk about that really strikes you and says, that's a really cool way for a soul to come into the world. For that to be a signal of that is a true honor. True honor. So.
We are so appreciative of you joining us each and every night here on Quarantine Tonight. And we know for all the right reasons, a lot of our viewers stay put during the day just to avoid all things coronavirus. And God knows you hear enough about it during the day. You don't need to hear about it at night. But this is the kind of entertainment we want to bring you thanks to our friends at the University of Nebraska Medical Center. We're going to continue with more Matthew Mayer. If you're interested in buying his music, he's got a new album coming out here. What day is it? August 16th?
August 14th. Friday, August 14th. You bet. That's the release date. And it's at matthewmayer.bandcamp.com. They can pre-order now and would love people if they're viewing to check that out and to support that project. It would really mean a lot.
You can see his website right there on the screen. We'll keep that there for a second. matthewmayer.bandcamp.com. You can also go online or anywhere music is sold, type in Matthew Mayer.
Correct, yep.
And Mayer, and you can buy his music. It's super easy once you get the hang of it. You can download an album, doesn't cost that much, and all of his songs pop up. They're on your phone, they're wherever you can buy music. Let's say somebody says, yeah, I don't do the iPhone thing, I don't do all the technology, I just want a CD I can put in my car, or I want a CD I can listen to at home. What do they do to get that?
Absolutely. They can go to that website, matthewmayer.bandcamp.com, and they can get an order in there, or if they want to send me an email as well, they can do that through that website, or just send me a note, and I'm happy to mail one off to wherever you may be listening to. Yes, shoot me an email, and shoot me an email regardless, because I would love to hear from you.
He responds to each and every one, but I'll tell you, if you absolutely just want my help to do it, you can send me a letter if you want to. We've gotten over 2,000 letters.
Awesome.
We'll take a letter from you, and I will get it to him, and we will figure it out. And what does a CD cost?
Well, you can pre-order for only $8, so it's
$8.
pretty cheap. Considering, and yeah, like I said, it would help fund the project, so it'd be
Well,
great.
if you send a check for $8, make it out to him, not me, Matthew Mayer, Mayer, and we will get him the money, and we'll make sure that you get your CD. How about that? You can always write us a letter. You don't have, if you say don't use this on TV, we promise we won't use it on TV. Couple quick notes. So, this undisclosed location that we're in has been great to us. I mean, absolutely wonderful. They had a wedding on the books before we showed up. And the bride-to-be, we didn't want to cause her any stress. Can you imagine getting a stress on top of all things coronavirus?
No.
Oh, by the way, the TV station needs your wedding venue for a program. So we are going to be playing replays tomorrow night and Friday. So that this bride and groom can dance the night away in a hall that's air-conditioned, which they're going to need over this next weekend. Next Monday, obviously, we're going to be back. We're going to be live. Our show is set to go through August 14th. We are diligently working very hard to make sure that it continues. But as you know, there's sports and all these other things, and my piano is leaving, which we totally understand. It's going back to Lutheran High Northeast, but I think we're sending it out in style, don't you, Matthew?
I sure hope so.
We
I
called
sure
in
hope
the
it's
big
worth it.
guns to play this piano before its final hours with us, and we want to thank everybody at Lutheran High Northeast. Tell you what, let's take a quick break. It'll be our last break, and then more Matthew Mayer until 10 o'clock Central, 9 o'clock Mountain, right here on News Channel Nebraska. I got kind of a kick out of it. Welcome back to Quarantine Tonight. When we started the program, I said, now turn your lights off, enjoy this, light a candle. It's going to be very relaxing. I go out to the broadcast truck in the parking lot here at our undisclosed location, and our operator, Michael Harms, has all the lights turned off in the truck, just the glow of the buttons in there. And he said, you said turn the lights off. So he's sitting out there in the dark basically doing the program. He's enjoying it too, by the way.
Thank you.
This is fun. Matthew Mayer is an accomplished pianist. He lives in Omaha. He's from a small town in South Dakota, went to USD for college, and ended up in Hollywood for a short time, and then back to Omaha. Your wife and kids, are they watching tonight, or are they playing?
I think they're watching, yeah. I don't know. Sometimes my kids get a little, tired of Dad playing, but Samantha, Charlie, and Jack.
Do you play a lot at home when you're...
I do, and... But I've got some exciting news. My kids are starting to get more into the piano. So Charlie also started learning, and Samantha has been learning, and Jack is working on one note, one finger, one note, one finger. So, and all the kids out there, keep it up. Keep it up if you're playing.
I told my kids, I said, if you can play an instrument in college, it's going to be like a great way to meet women.
Well,
I mean, you probably met your wife playing the piano. They just like a snake charmer. They just kind of come right into your world, I bet.
Well,
it doesn't hurt, right?
Well, it's been a great ride, I would say that with this piano. It's been it brings a lot of people together. That may be funny story. Sometimes in college we would have some sing-alongs, maybe a little later at night, and Ben and a couple other friends, and maybe more than a couple other, but we would get around and sing around the piano. It's just such a fun thing to be around. So.
In 5th grade, it seems like the most complicated thing ever. But when you're 21, it's probably like magic. It's magic. Well, I think this is great. And what do you have at home for a piano?
You know what? This surprises a lot of people, but I actually have a Clavinova electric piano that I've had since I graduated. And so I do all my recording professionally in a studio. But I do all my writing on that. So hopefully someday I could have something like this.
You sell enough albums.
That's what we're working on. So please, again, MatthewMayer.bandcamp.com. That would
really
we'll put
that. We'll put that lower third up here in the next song. You know what? It does go a long way.
Yes.
And let me tell you, the artists that perform in this show don't do it for the money. Right. They do it because they love performing, and they bring so much joy to people like you watching, which is the biggest reason they do it. So you're making a lot of people happy tonight. You've put a lot of smiles on a lot of faces. Tell us about this last set.
Yeah, this last set, it's going to have a couple more originals. You mentioned Hollywood, a couple more originals from there, one more song from the new album. And we're going to finish off maybe, since this is the last, and I blame Ben Reese for this if it doesn't go well, but maybe we'll have a little sing-along at the end. With if we have enough time. So I've got a little.
Well, I hope you're not counting me in the sing-along because I have no plans of singing tonight.
Or everybody else that's in the studio.
Yeah, at home.
Right.
And Austin Truex over here. All right, I'll tell you what. Let's do this. Let's also put up his website. So if you're enjoying what you're watching tonight, you can go there, buy his music, and enjoy it. He's got a new album coming out August 14th that we'll talk about before the show is over. Ladies and gentlemen, Matthew Mayer right here on News Channel Nebraska.
Thank you so much. A couple songs left here for the evening, and again, I want to say thank you for sitting around the piano tonight. And as you can tell, I always tell my audience too, if you see me making really funny faces, my kids say, "Dad, try not to make as many goofy faces this time." I can't help it; it just kind of expresses, but I'm not in any pain. It just comes out that way. So. I guess that just comes with it. So anyway, this next couple songs are originals, and this next one's a slower one called Touch, about people that touch your lives in deep ways. And then we'll speed it up with a song called Test the Waters, a song that I had written when I lived out in Hollywood. And it's a parallel to swimming in the ocean and Well, I've got one quick funny story about swimming in the ocean. I'm not much of a bodyboarder, but I tried it once, and I was riding too close to the shore. And let's just say I was doing this with my brothers, and I found out how powerful waves really are because I wiped out on the board on the shore. But that's not why we're here. We're here to talk about music. So anyway, this song, I'll be playing Touch and then Test the Waters. That was America the Beautiful, and what a beautiful America we live in. Got a couple more songs for you tonight that we're going to leave off. Again, I want to say a special thanks, special heartfelt thanks to Quarantine Tonight, to News Channel Nebraska, for allowing this platform for artists like myself to come on and to share this music, to express it at this time, this crazy time with quarantine, and truly hope that you at home have enjoyed this and enjoyed watching me make funny faces for the last 2 hours. This last song, before the potential sing-along here, is a song called Dreams. And I play this as a final piece at all my concerts. And the melody of this was written when I was in high school. And my dream was always to play the piano someday, and just to play it for people and to play around the world and to share it with anyone who would listen. And so this song means a lot to me. And the title is all about dreams and believing that and knowing that we have one life and how beautiful of a life it is and how beautiful you are, you that are watching. And that no matter what, no matter where you're at in life, my wish for you is that you reach for your dreams, no matter what they are, no matter how silly, no matter how small or large, that you just reach out and reach for that dream in your life. And whether you get there or not, it's the journey. And I wish you the best of journeys in this life. Thank you for listening. And this song is called Dreams. And then maybe we'll have a little fun after. Who knows? Maybe Ben Reese will join me after this next song. I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, this is Dreams. Thank you very much. And just because some friends have requested this, and I normally don't do this, but I figured it's a special night. Coming back on quarantine tonight. And in the younger days, my friends and I won't tell you what time it usually was, but we would usually get around a piano and sing some songs. And that's what music's all about, is coming together and having friendships for the last couple decades. The older you get, the more special they become. And I appreciate all of you at home listening. And if you're still listening, I hope that you sing along with me on this song that you probably know. And if you don't, you'll get the gist and just kind of join me. And if the kids, if you're still watching, I want you to sing along too. And I would like the entire state of Nebraska to be singing along to this song for the next 3 minutes. So, Mr. Mike Flood, thank you so much for this night, Quarantine Tonight. Thank you. Thank you for having me. If you're watching, I hope you reach out. And I'll leave you with this little number. It's called Piano Man. It's 9 o'clock on a Saturday, and a regular crowd shuffles in. And there's an old man, and he's sitting next to me, and he's making love to his tonic engine. And he says, "Son, can you play me a melody?" And I'm not really sure how it goes, but it's sad and it's sweet, and I knew it complete when I wore a younger man's clothes. And they all sang along. La 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 di di da, la di di da di dum. Sing us a song, you're the piano man. Sing us a song tonight. Well, we're all in the mood for a melody, and you've got us feeling all right. And it's a pretty good crowd for a Wednesday. And Mike gives us a smile, 'cause he know that it's me they've been coming to see, to forget about life for a while. And they sing on the la's, la 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 dee dee da, la la dee dee da dee dum. Sing us a song, you're the piano man. Sing us a song tonight. Well, we're all in the mood for a melody, and you've got us feeling all right.
Whoa. Well, you had to take the remaining chips on the table, didn't you? You just grabbed them all and said, "I'm going to take those home with me." Matthew Mayer from Omaha, Nebraska. Thank you so much. It's Mayer. You can buy his music everywhere music is sold. Let's put that website up there. If you are interested in buying his music, go to matthewmayer.bandcamp.com. You just did a wonderful job there.
Thank you.
As somebody who reads every single letter that comes into the station, there are so many people that pour their hearts out and say, hey, this is important to me. This is special to me. This is a special time each night. And you sharing your talents with them is so appreciated. So
thank you so much.
To spend the night with us, take it away from your family, to be here to celebrate your gift there. We should be paying attention to this guy. He is going to have a great new album out on August 14th. You can find it at that website. If you absolutely have to, send me a note and $8. Make it out to him, Matthew Mayer, and I'll get you the CD. You're watching News Channel Nebraska. It's 10 o'clock. Good night.
We now join regular programming on News